Tipping off the dime, Melo and the Nugs hit Broadway without Coach Carl. Dirk tossed, but it's still kids' play on his birthday. Gilbert Arenas could face jail time while his team looked to avoid a dozen straight losses. And Big Z rejoins the James gang. It's time for the dime.
We'll have to do it without Dirk. I definitely thought the energy dipped for a while after. But that will put the energy right back into things as Beaubois gets the alley-oop slam, the Mavericks lead.
Carmelo humming tonight. Carmelo Anthony, 11 points. Carmelo rolling through 22 points. Carmelo Anthony has 42. His 50-point game in his career.
Melo hitting the Knicks for half 100 last time New York met Denver, though this time the venue changes. Welcome to the Daily Dime. I'm Jim Basquel. Ahead in the show, Dirk giving the heave-ho and Big D in the latest legal issues surrounding Gilbert Arenas. But first up, Carmelo Anthony and the Nuggets again getting the Knicks, this time at Madison Square Garden, though this time without Coach George Karl. As Denver is not optimistic they'll have Karl for the rest of the regular season. He recently needed treatment for blood clots in his legs and lungs that surfaced while he was already undergoing chemotherapy and radiation treatment for throat cancer. Karl is expected to complete that treatment at the end of next week, but the Nuggets are not confident he'll feel strong enough to resume coaching at the start of April. Assistant Adrian Dantley has taken the reins for the remainder of this 5-game road trip. The team remains hopeful that Karl will be back on the sideline for the start of the playoffs in 3 weeks. Here's Adrian Dantley, the Nuggets coach, on Tuesday in New York. Carmelo Anthony, the third highest points per game average per game of any player who's played at least 10 games against the Knicks, trailing only Wilt Chamberlain and Michael Jordan, two of the game's all-time greats. And Melo, well, he went to work early, facing the double-team opening quarter. He'd split the D and get the finish. Denver up 3. Fast forward to the fourth quarter. This is a big play. It's David Lee off the drive, and he'd collide with J.R. Smith. Initially, the ref calls a charge, and that would be Lee's 6th foul. He'd foul out, but he pleads his case. Now, take another look, and you be the judge. Looks like Smith is outside that box, so instead it's a block. Lee would make both freebies, and Knicks would go up 5, but the Nuggets' ensuing touch, that's Melo off the drive and finish. He scored 36, Denver within 3, then Anthony off the drive and kick finds Smith for 3, and Denver suddenly was within a single point. Next Knicks touch, though, just over a half minute to go. That's the rookie Tony Douglas making the most of that late season playing time. He had 16 to go with 7 assists. New York up 3. Melo looks to answer, but Lee bodies him. He can't get the roll. 28 for Danilo Gallinari as New York hands Denver just their 24th loss. The final 109-104. Dirk and the Mavs home to the Clippers, and Nowitzki came out firing. Second quarter, spins into the lane. This plus the foul. Dallas up 10. Then Jason Kidd finds Nowitzki, who's doing it from downtown. He had 18 points in the opening half, but third quarter, Dirk gets mixed up with his former teammate, Drew Gooden, who pushes Nowitzki in the lower back on that rebound. Dirk complains, giving a quick tee, and then official Bill Kennedy gives him another tee and gives him the heave-ho. He's done for the night early in the third quarter. That ejection spurs the Clippers in transition. It's that guy again, Gooden, on the finish. He scored 26, grabbed 20 boards. That evened the game at 69. Then Chris Kaman in the lane on the finish. Clippers went on a 15-4 run after the Nowitzki ejection, but Jason Kidd would rescue the Mavs. Here, one of his 12 assists for Rade Beaubois off the alley-oop on the throwdown. Dallas up top 78-77. Then Kidd's doing it from deep. That tray had Mavs up 81-70. He hit 6 from beyond the arc. How about one more time? Season high 26. Mavs outscore them 30-19 in the fourth, getting their 47th victory. Here's a look at how the West will be won. The Mavs win moves them into a second-place tie with the Nuggets. Both teams 5.5 back of the Lakers for the top spot, but just a game ahead of the Jazz, who sit in fourth. L.A., though, hits a tough stretch over the next 5 on the road, beginning tonight against the Spurs, and you can see that game at 9:30 Eastern on ESPN and ESPN360.com. Prosecutors are asking for 3 months in jail for Gilbert Arenas. Sentencing is scheduled for Friday. Arenas pleaded guilty to gun possession back in January after bringing 4 handguns into the Wizards locker room. As part of his plea deal, prosecutors will not seek more than a 6-month prison term, though a judge can give Arenas a sentence of up to 5 years. ESPN legal analyst Roger Cossack shares some insight as to what lies ahead for Agent Zero.
Well, the judge will take into consideration the prosecutor's suggestion as well as the defense attorney's suggestion, and they'll also be looking at the pre-sentence report, which is a report made up by a probation officer, and see what that probation officer suggests, and then the judge will make up his mind. You know, there's a maximum of 5 years and a minimum of no time. The judge could go either way, but there's really no reason to believe that he's not going to give that sentence that the prosecution asked for, which is 90 days. Remember,